At brief red flag stoppage, we do have a delay in proceedings as we now just await for the drivers to be sent on their way. So with the rainfall hitting the circuit quite abruptly after the conclusion of the Minimax final, the drivers are sitting on the grid ready to be informed to start their Rotax Max Evo engines on the starting grid ahead of their fourth and final race of the weekend, the second one here on day 2. And 5 drivers were given a 5-second time penalty for front fairings. The 242 of Mathis Turlo got a 5-second penalty for pushing, and with the runoff area being used excessively by the 210 of Lucas Schoenmakers and the 255 of Thomas Martins. We now get things back underway. So, once again, the grid will be as called earlier on. Tim Gerhards will start from pole. Alongside will be Kai Gielets. Then it's Max Knappen and Colin van Lammeren. Thomas Martins and Lucas Schoenmakers. Sam Bergstein and Jens van der Eyden. Joype Breedveld and Nick Gerhards complete the top 10 ahead of Luc Niesen. Olivier Jonkers, Jorie Schoens, Teun Schmidt, Mathis Turlo, Rune de Broeke and Gilles Chloé. And I found out the reason for Christian de Klein's disqualification due to unsportsmanlike conduct was due to the incident between the 299 and the 267 of Teun Schmidt earlier on today in the pre-final, which saw Teun Schmidt spinning on the straight on the grass between turns 9 and 10. So that basically, if de Klein was going to try and have an opportunity at going for the title, that has quite literally been thrown the biggest curveball, which has meant that it's 3 strikes, and Christian de Klein, unfortunately, I think is now out of the title running. A real shame, but these things do happen in racing. We're about to get things underway. They come through the final corner. They split. They go into the tram lines. The accelerators are pressed hard to the floor, and it is lights out. We are off and away and racing. Gerhards gets a great start as Knappen trying to go up the inside for the lead, but look out for Jens van der Eyden, who's already up, trying to go side by side with Max Knappen, and van der Eyden gets up into second place, just up ahead of the 255 of Thomas Martins. Tim Gerhards rounds out the next position, but then Gielets, I think, is trying to go up the inside of the 205 in the process of going through turn 6. Varying lines, and is 3 wide at some points between the mid part of the field and towards the back part of the field. As now van der Eyden strikes up the inside of turn 7 to take the lead from Max Knappen. And you can just see how hard they're working behind the wheels of these karts. Martins in third place. Tim Gerhards rounds out the top 4 as they now make their way down towards turn 10 for the first time. So behind Tim Gerhards is the 275 of Luc Niesen, who has Kai Gielets going up the inside through turn 10. Gielets drifts a bit wide, but it does not allow an opportunity for Luc Niesen to try and get past as Lucas Schoenmakers. Now just behind the battling duo as they come across the line to complete lap number 1. Jens van der Eyden now has nearly a 4/10 of a second advantage in the pocket, as Thomas Martins takes a very different line in comparison with Tim Gerhards as the pair of 3rd and 4th respectively, as now Lucas Schoenmakers gets past Luc Niesen, who tries to counter-attack through turn number 5, but then Kai Gielets has got past Tim Gerhards, who gets a wider line and gets out of the corner better than Gielets, who took the inside line, and that compromised the 274. And has Schoenmakers also got past in the process? I think that might be the case, as van der Eyden makes his way through turn 8 now into turn 9, takes a wider line as Max Knappen rides the curbs through the apex, as now you've got The other two drivers behind Schoenmakers is ahead of Gielitz, and then you have got the 275 of Luke Nielsen. I think I spotted the 267 of Turnschmidt just behind, who looked to go up the inside for position through turn 11. Nick Gerhardt's behind that pair, followed by Colin van Lammeren, and then then it was the 297 of Rooney de Bruyke. So Van der Heyden has a 1.1 second advantage over Max Knappen. Thomas Martins rounds out the top three, followed by Tim Gerhardt, Lucas Schoenmakers, Kai Gielitz, Luke Nielsen, Turnschmidt, Nick Gerhardt. Colin van Lammeren rounds out the top 10. Rooney de Bruyke in 11th ahead of Joip Breedveld, Joris Schoens, Olivier Jonkers, Mathis Turlo, Gilles Chloé, and last but by no means least, Sam Bergstein crosses the line in 17th position. All the way down the order goes the 219 and is 23 seconds off of the next driver up the road, Gilles Chloé. It is very much a case of tippy-toeing around the circuit, as now Max Knappen goes up the inside of Jens van der Eyden on the inside of turn 9, but van der Eyden powers around the outside. Still very, very much a case of tippy-toeing around the circuit. And these karts, if you put the power down at the wrong point on a track that is starting to get damp, it can get a bit tetchy, let's say. Now, the lead between van der Eyden and Knappen has now been decimated by nigh on over a second. But van der Eyden and Knappen still complete the top two positions. Thomas Martins still in third, ahead of Tim Gerhardt, as now Max Knappen goes barrel rolling up the inside through turn 4, but goes through turn 5. Oh, they clash wheels slightly. Right rear from Knappen hits the left front of van der Eyden, and they're still literally at loggerheads. And now van der Eyden will try and get the run going into turn 7. Knappen shuts the door, keeps the lead for the minute. As now Turnschmidt has got past Luke Nielsen for 7th place. De Bruyke now up into the top 10 ahead of Colin van Lammeren in the number 263 from the Netherlands. Leaders now making their way through turn number 10 and taking very different lines, as Kai Gielitz takes the inside line through turn 10, and then Turnschmidt goes towards the outside of it. And in the meantime, Lucas Schoenmakers has got past Tim Gerhardt for 4th place. And the gap has now extended, and it was just over nearly a tenth and a half. It's been nearly 8/10 of a second pendulum swing in the favour of Max Knappen from the Netherlands, and it is a Dutch 1-2 as he's being followed by Jens van der Eyden, as Turnschmidt tries to go up the inside of Kai Gielitz through turn 3, bumping over the curbs whilst doing so, but Gielitz keeps ahead. And now up the inside goes Turnschmidt and gets past Gielitz for 6th place, and just up ahead is the 205 of Tim Gerhardt. So at the moment, the way things have been going at the minute, Tim Gerhardt now really is in the thick of things, having taken a 25-point victory in the pre-final. Kai Gielitz is literally ahead as Jens van der Eyden went sideways and went all the way 4 wheels onto the curbs on the outside of the exit of turn 9, and nearly could have lost it right there, but well held, young sir, well held. I doff my cap to thee. And even in these wet weather conditions, you can see, for those watching at home, the spots of rain that have hit the camera lenses just off of turn number 12. It is intensifying once again, and it is being blown sideways, the rain. So a very good call from the clerk of the course and race control to give them the opportunity to put wet weather tyres on. And it has paid dividends for some, and for others it has quite literally thrown their chances to the wolves. As now Schoenmakers is trying to go up the inside of Thomas Martins through into turn number 6, but the JJ Racing driver representing the Netherlands can't get through, as Martins now closes once again on the back bumper of Jens van der Eyden in the 254, who still remains in 2nd position. And I think we're going to have our first lapped driver of the weekend, and that looks to be Sam Bergstein in the 2:19, who is just ahead of Max Knappen. And I'm wondering whether Bergstein has had an opportunity. Well, the thing is that Bergstein did not have. I'm wondering if stayed on slick tyres. Now that would have been a difficult call, but Bergstein has dropped all the way down to stone dead last, and I think has decided to pull it into the pits and has called it a day quite early. And that is on lap number 4 of the race, as Thomas Martins looks a bit more poised in comparison with Jens van der Eyden, because Martins going through turn 3 managed to get up the inside, as again you see the likes of Tim Gerhards and Turn Schmidt using the curb on the inside of turn 5. Some drivers using the tighter line going through 6 onto the Europalan, and they are driving into a headwind. So the slipstream down the back straightaway not being as effective as it would customarily be on a race day. As now Turn Schmidt trying to go up the inside this time of Tim Gerhards, and the pair go side by side on the exit of turn 8. And Gerhards manages to keep the inside line through into turn 10, but it depends on the run that Turn Schmidt gets, as now Lukas Schoenmakers gets past Thomas Martins, and Turn Schmidt gets denied by a driver going around the outside, and that is Tim Gerhards, powered around the outside of the 267. Kai Rielitz coming back into this. 4 minutes and 6 seconds plus an additional lap. Knappen now leads by a whopping 2.7 seconds ahead of Jens van der Eyden, who in turn is just over a second ahead of Lukas Schoenmakers. Thomas Martins now coming under pressure once again from the 205 of SP Motorsports, Tim Gerhards, Turn Schmidt, Kai Rielitz, Nick Gerhards, Luke Niesen and Joip Briefeld round out the top 10 positions. Sam Bergstein has been confirmed as an official retirement after just 4 laps, so we are down to 16 runners and riders here. Just under 3.5 minutes remaining, and still there is a lot of trepidation, because you don't want to put too much throttle input down when you come out of a corner, and if you find that it is a bit wetter than the remainder of the circuit, that could spool up the rear wheels, cause a bit of wheel spin, and then the back end steps out, as now this time Turn Schmidt once again goes up the inside of Tim Gerhards. The pair have a little bit of a touch there through the exit of turn number 11. And now the lead is nearly 3 seconds. Oh my goodness, Max Knappen reveling in these conditions. And on the second lap of the race, the fastest lap was set by Jens van der Eyden on a 1 minute 14.922, as this time Turn Schmidt gets up the inside of Tim Gerhards through turn 3. Gerhards responds, recounters, and reasserts himself through the inside of turn number 4 and manages to get the position back through turn 6. The pair are literally at loggerheads once again, but then Turn Schmidt manages to power past Tim Gerhards up into the next position, and that is 5th on the road. And Kai Rielitz fancies a little bit of a bite of the cherry, but then Tim Gerhards manages to get through on the inside of turn 8 of Turn Schmidt, and then Turn Schmidt counter-attacks and gets through before they even hit the apex of turn number 9. Great dicing, as now Kai Rielitz gets past Tim Gerhards, going on the short, down on the short blast towards 9, from 9 to turn 10. So Schmidt up into 5th, Rielitz up into 6th, Gerhards now down in 7th, and he is ahead of his twin brother Nick, who rounds out the top 8. And then is a country mile between Nick Gerhards and then Joip Briefeld, as now, now Knappen, no, that was Schoenmakers and van der Eyden battling away. Van der Eyden used the runoff area, but then coming out of turn 3, Lukas Schoenmakers just literally put it around the outside going into turn 4 and made the move stick, as they both bump up the bump over the curbs through turn 6 in order to try and help the cart rotate through the corner. As down towards turn number 7 we go, and Turn Schmidt is now ahead of, that looks to be Thomas Martins, I believe. So Turnschmidt now making his way up into what is 4th place. So Martins coming under fire as we are fast approaching the conclusion of the 4th and final race for Junior Road Tax here at the BNL Karting Series penultimate round in 2020 at the home of champions Karting Genk. So Knappen did have a 3.1 second lead over Van der Eyden, but now Sean Mackers is nearly 3.3 seconds adrift in second position, as there is the 275 of Luke Neeson, who has unfortunately gone a bit rallycross style here at the circuit. And Neeson was running in 10th position, as now the two twin brothers of Tim and Nick Gerhards now line astern pretty much, as towards the inside of turn 6 goes Nick Gerhards on brother Tim, and this is where things get a bit difficult now. I'm wondering, is there an issue that Tim Gerhards is having to work with here, because his brother just powered past him on the back straightaway, as now Kai Gillitz gets past Thomas Martins, and that demotes the 255 down into 5th position. However, the GKS Lemons power driver still trying to keep pace with Gillitz, but Gillitz just sprints away off into the distance like a cheetah, needing to go and find its next meal. So in that respect, Gillitz now powering away as we now go on to the last lap, and Max Knappen goes on to the final lap in the lead of this race. Look how Sean Mackers has closed the gap and puts in a 1 minute 15.069. The gap is not going to be easy to assail, let alone it's going to be impossible to get 2.8 seconds of disadvantage back into your favour. But it's just about keeping it calm, cool and collected, and that is what Max Knappen has done, having started from 3rd on the grid behind the likes of Tim Gerhards, who has now been passed by brother Nick a lap ago, and now Nick Gerhards looking to close up on Thomas Martins for 6th position in the dying stages of the race, as the leader now comes through turn number 9. Max Knappen in the 248 from the Netherlands, and it looks to be a Dutch clean sweep for the top 4, as Knappen just safely negotiates, uses the amount of corrective steering input to try and make sure that the kart does not spin out or get compromised with snap-on oversteer. But round the final corner, Max Knappen wins Junior Road Tax final number 2 here, and Jens van der Eyden absolutely jubilant, with both hands fist bumping the air as he crossed the line. He's gone, yes, I'm really, really happy with that one, and a great show of sportsmanship there from Turnschmidt, who rounds out the top 4. Kai Gillitz comes home in 5th place ahead of Thomas Martins. Nick Gerhards finishes ahead of twin brother Tim, with the pair from SP Motorsport in the 206 and the 205 respectively finishing 7th and 8th, with Joip Briefeld and Rune de Broeke completing the top 10. Then it was Joey Schoens, Olivier Jonkers, Gilles Chloé, Matty Sturlo, Colin Van Lammeren, Luke Neeson rounding out the 16 that did finish the race. Luke Neeson a lap down after that rallycross expedition that the 275 had at the end of the race, with Sam Bergstein unfortunately retiring on lap number 4. But what a win for Max Knappen, with Jens van der Eyden obviously having a party on the slowdown lap to the pit lane here at Karting Genk. But what an interesting Junior Max finale we had here on Sunday afternoon here at the home of champions.